Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the enormous character of our world around us, and today we will just talk about how the, let's say, spirit of the management option in business in recent decades also affected science and arts. What's the management option? I will just remind you a little bit to introduce you to the following part of the video. The management option is the situation in which the especially great companies are no longer managed by their own owners. The owners just enjoy life and profits they have from these companies and contracts mainly with the different states, governments, and they hire managements to run the company. They give them term, few years, 4 or 5 maybe, to just make as much profit from the company as possible. And of course, such approach causes very unrealistic management and very harmful management. Why? Because company to be run well should think about current profits, of course, because profits are the main goal, but it should be managed in such a way to not to destroy the environment for which within which company is acting and working. Because if we maximize the profits so much that we will neglect all costs, we will destroy the environments in which we are living, and for the future nothing will work in the same way. We see it in the Western world, also in Western Europe, geographically speaking, Western world, and partly in the United States, that companies run by the managers, they really do such trick. They, of course, privatize the profits for the small range of the owners and their friends, and they socialize the costs of these profits, like this immigration, care, taking into these countries unassimilated and unprepared workers, cheap ones, and so on and so on, not allowing for tariffs that would prevent production in the so-called Western countries, but the industry was largely transferred to China and other countries, so minimizing the cost, maximizing the profits, even at the cost of employment and safety of the countries these managements come from. The same is with the Mercosur deal between the European Union and Mercosur countries in South America, which can be summarized like this: agricultural product from South America to Europe for German machines, which is actually stupidity, because then European agriculture is almost wiped off, and just in case of problems with transportation, change of the regime in some of the Mercosur countries, European countries are in danger of famine and riots. And also, we know agreement is agreement, but these Mercosur countries, they do not have to keep themselves in line with the agreement. They can also buy other equipment where they find cheaper options, not from Germany but from other countries as well. I know that Mercosur deal, let's hope it will not come into life and it will not work, is made by German very influential and rich minorities in these Mercosur countries and German counterparts in Germany and European Union, but it's not gonna work. So here we see how the management option in economy damaged the many countries, including so-called geographically speaking Western world, but to large extent also South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and so on. So such approach in maximizing the profits and numbers and outcome at any cost also affected science. Everyone looks at the bibliometry, number of citations, Hirsch index, and other stuff, and everyone now tries to, of course, this writing rank, the begging culture, also comes into play and cause a lot of damages, and everyone who wants to survive in academia now pretends, if they can, that they are running the startup company and they are going to business and they will generate profits. Of course, majority of startups consume only the money from the grant agencies and from the university. Once it's over, startup is over. But everyone now pretends corpo science, corpo academia, with the great Hirsch index, citations, and a number of startups, we measure so-called productivity. It's no longer about science, no one cares what's inside these papers or patents published, only numbers and imaginary profits that it can generate matter. So we see how management option also influenced science and influenced the world of the art and our intellectual sphere, that it's no longer intellectual, it's only about more, faster, 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 doesn't matter what, it has to be big and come fast. So we see that quantity will never become quality, in contrast to this what Marxists were saying, Friedrich Engels, and so on. It's not true. Life really shows us that something what's unique and good is elitar and it's unique. So the numbers of elitar good things are really tiny, and the mediocracy is the numerous thing. That's it, and it will never change. So we see how the management option in economy also affected science, and grant begging culture also has its several penny into this added. And just uh, I'm recommending you can find it on my channel. Some time ago I recorded a video critical about grant writing system. You can easily find it by browsing it. I encourage you to do that. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.